Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and greeting to all of us. My name is Romi Mesra. I represent all the authors who will present this article. Previously, I will introduce the author of this article, namely the first, Yosh Daniel Ari Santie, and then Romi Mesra, and Paulus Robert Tuerah. The title of this article is Management of Character Education, analyzed on students at UNIMA Sociology Education Study Program. Introduction. Management is an alternative solution to guide people to behave and act, to mobilize human attitude and behavior in order to achieve its objective. A good and correct management approach is needed, starting from planning, good and measurable. Planning, organizing involving all components. Actuating all planned activities optimally. And controlling, evaluate carefully and strictly all of their behavior and attitudes, whether resolved well or experience problem and not resolved properly. This applies also to students of the UNIMA Sociology Education Program, who are expected to have attitude and behavior in accordance with the rules that apply in society, but the effect is not in line with expectation due to inconsistency of students to behave according to the agreed standard guidelines, as well as low learning discipline as well. Research method. The method used is qualitative, namely, to understand the symptoms experienced by research subject in the form of behavior and action holistically by describing empirical experience. Data collection technique in the form of participatory observation, in-depth interview, and then the data are analyzed using Miles and Haberman analytical technique in reference. Result and discussion. Number 1, planning. Our learning activities and academic life and lecture process carry out based on planning. From the result of the interview with the first informant, namely the first semester class, AG, leader provide information and data that in conducting a learning plan based on learning plan that has been prepared at the beginning of the semester, but there are also learning activities that need to be adapted to the situation and existing condition, namely the dynamic of campus life, such as public lecture, seminar at the university or faculty level. All plans are always carried out well, although it must be admitted there are still learning plans that are constrained due to change in schedule of activities. The second informant, I think he explained the same thing, so I will continue my presentation. Number 2, organizing. All learning activities, academic life, and lecturing process were organized. The head of the first semester class, AG, provide information and data that in carrying out learning activities, the lecture process and academic life, both on campus and in the boarding house, always carry out well, although it must be admitted that there are still constraints. Collects plans due to schedule change or being unable to attend due to illness. And the second informant and next informant, they talk about the same thing. So I will continue to point 3, actualization. All learning activities, academic life, and lecturing process carry out well. The informant will represent the first semester, namely the class leader, AG, provide information and data that the lecture activities on campus were running well because both faculty leaders, lecturers, and students support each other. The responsibilities of each component could create a good academic atmosphere. Although it must be admitted that there are still good lecturer students who have not carried out their responsibility in full. Then other informants said the same thing. Point 4. Supervision. Are learning activities, academic lab, and lecture controlled or supervised well? The head of the first semester class, AG, provide information and data that in carrying out lecture activities, learning activities, and other student activities in general are only controlled through the study plan KRS only, while other activities are not well controlled because it is still at the stage of adaptation to the environment news. This has an impact on test score that not all students have good grades. So also, academic attitude and behavior are not optimal because of self-control that is not focused. Then other informants said the same thing. Conclusion. Based on the analysis of the result of the result above, the findings of this study are learning activities, attitude and behavior of students in learning and discipline ranging from planning, implementing, organizing and supervising or controlling in all student academic activities even though they have been carried out according to management functions. Namely, has used planning, has used organizing, has used actualization, and has used control or supervision, but it has not been maximally carried out so that the result of the goal set have not been realized properly. Alright? This is the presentation of our article. We apologize for all the mistakes. We are open to all suggestions and input given. We close by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greeting to all of us.